In the last two lectures, we have been learning about the nature of intelligence and theories of intelligence by Spearman, Thurston, Cattell, and Guilford. All these four theories tell us about the constituents of intelligence. They answer the question, what is intelligence composed of? The theory which we are going to take up today, which is the triarchic model given by Robert Sternberg, is a new approach and it's a different kind of theory from what we have learned so far. Let us see how Sternberg's triarchic theory is different from all the theories that we have learned so far. With the advent of computers in the late 20th century, psychology too got a newer approach of looking at human beings or human mind, which is called the information processing approach. Now, computers, as we all know, have a central processing unit. The input that is given to the computer is then processed by the CPU, and this results in a output. In the same light, cognitive psychologists started looking at human mind as a computer. Just as the computer takes input, processes it, and gives a response, so does our mind, according to cognitive psychologists, takes information from the environment, processes it, and then results in a response, which could be a mental process or a behavior. So, the information processing approach conceptualizes human mind as a processor which processes information. Now, coming to the triarchic theory of intelligence, which is based on the information processing approach, this triarchic theory of intelligence looks at intelligence not in terms of abilities or factors, but in terms of processing skills. Sternberg defined intelligence as ability to adapt, shape, and to select environment to accomplish one's goals and that of one's society and culture. The triarchic theory of intelligence was proposed in 1985. According to this theory, there are three kinds of intelligence: componential intelligence, experiential intelligence, and contextual intelligence. All these three kinds of intelligence refer to the different kinds of processing that a human mind does. So, componential intelligence is the processing which entails abstract thinking. Experiential intelligence refers to a processing of information where the person is trying to relate ideas and form new combinations. Contextual intelligence refers to the individual's ability to adapt to environment effectively. Componential intelligence, also known as the analytical intelligence, is the ability of the person to analyze information and to solve problems. This kind of intelligence is usually needed in school learning, where the focus is primarily on knowledge acquisition and performance. Componential intelligence has three components. One, the knowledge component, which involves the skill of acquiring knowledge. So, all the effort that you give to pay attention to something and to acquire meaning out of it, that is the knowledge acquisition component of componential intelligence. Coming to performance component, this is that component of componential intelligence which involves performance of the knowledge that you have gained. So, when you are learning something or trying to understand a theory or a chapter or a concept, what you are doing is that you are involving your knowledge acquisition component. Once you have acquired the knowledge and you are given a test to perform, that is where the performance component is active. The third component is the meta component. Now, meta component is that component of intelligence which involves the capacity to be able to look at one's own knowledge acquisition and performance. So, the capacity to monitor, control, and evaluate oneself refers to as meta component. This is a very interesting component of intelligence. This ability or this skill helps us to be able to look at ourselves, to evaluate ourselves, and to monitor our performance and knowledge acquisition. For example, a student has a certain way of learning. Now, if that way of learning is not reaping benefits or is not producing good results, then the task before the student is to be able to evaluate and monitor one's knowledge acquisition skills and one's performance skills. So you need a capacity to look at yourself to be able to improve yourself. This is what we mean by meta component. Meta component is that skill of processing which enables us to look at ourselves and evaluate ourselves and monitor the way we are acquiring skills or the way we are performing what we have already acquired. This enables us to become better and to improve on all fronts of life. This is the component which is so very important for us to improve ourselves, to get better, and to become better versions of ourselves each moment and each day. So that is about the three components of componential intelligence or analytical intelligence, which is very much needed in school learning, where you need to acquire information, perform well, and this also includes the capacity to be able to look at ourselves or to evaluate ourselves and monitor ourselves. Coming to experiential intelligence or creative intelligence, this refers to one's ability to be able to use the past experiences to solve problems of life. So, experiential intelligence involves creative use of already acquired knowledge or already acquired experience to new problems and coming up with newer solutions or original creative solutions to problems. Contextual intelligence is the practical intelligence. This involves putting to use all that you have acquired in the form of knowledge or skills, and this is something that makes you street smart or something that makes you socially smart. So, people who are very high at contextual intelligence are able to excel in areas which involve adaptation to the environment or changing the environment according to one's skills or potential. So, to quickly review what we have done according to the triarchic theory of intelligence, the three kinds of intelligence, componential, experiential, and contextual, are needed to be able to survive in the world and to be able to adjust to the environment. Coming to our next theory, which is the theory of multiple intelligences, this is given by Howard Gardner. Now, let me tell you something very interesting about Howard Gardner. Howard Gardner was a psychologist who was interested in creative people. So, he studied creative people from various fields. He studied exceptionally creative people in the areas of dance, painting, music. He also studied Mahatma Gandhi as a creative person. So he has given 8 types of intelligence which are independent of each other, which are mutually exclusive, which do not relate to each other, which belong to different areas of functioning. These 8 multiple intelligences are linguistic intelligence, logical mathematical intelligence, spatial, musical, bodily kinesthetic, interpersonal, intrapersonal, and naturalistic intelligences. Let's understand more about each of these kinds of intelligences. Linguistic intelligence involves skills used in the production and use of language. So, all the skills which are required for comprehension and expression when it comes to language is what is termed as linguistic intelligence. Linguistic intelligence is responsible for all kinds of linguistic competence or abilities, talents, and skills. It includes components such as syntax. Syntax is the arrangement of words in a sentence. So, syntax is the composition of sentences. People who are good at linguistic skills are able to create sentences which are coherent and well organized. Semantics refers to meanings. People who are good at linguistic skills have a good vocabulary or have a good collection of words along with their meanings. Pragmatics is another branch of linguistics or the study of languages which deals with the usage of language in different contexts. For example, you use language when you talk to your friend on a WhatsApp chat. That is one context where language is being used. The other context which also requires language but of a different kind is when you are writing a mail to your teacher or maybe to the principal of your school. That requires a totally different kind of language and its usage. So that is what pragmatics is. The pragmatics is that branch of linguistics which deals with the usage of language in different contexts. So, people who are good at linguistic skills have a good vocabulary. They can form good sentences, well formed sentences. They have a good knowledge of how which kind of language to be used in which context or situation, and they are very good at school related written and oral work. People who are good at linguistic skills are usually people who excel in the areas such as writing. So they are good authors, they can be good writers, poets, or orators. Coming to logical mathematical intelligence, this involves scientific thinking and problem solving. Logical mathematical intelligence is responsible for all kinds of skills in the area of mathematics. It includes components such as deductive and inductive reasoning. People good at logical mathematical intelligence are able to perform well in professions such as being a mathematician or accountant. Spatial intelligence involves skills in forming visual images and patterns. People who are high on spatial intelligence have an exceptional skill of representation and manipulation of spatial configuration and relationships. So they have the skill of being able to imagine certain things in space and work on them. The professions which suit people who are high on spatial intelligence are such as painting or interior designing. So they can become good painters or interior designers. Now, coming to musical intelligence is the sensitivity to musical rhythms and patterns. People high on musical intelligence have a capacity for pitch discrimination, sensitivity to rhythm, texture, and timbre of sounds, and a good ability to hear and produce music. People with high musical intelligence are fit for professions such as being a singer or music composer or sound designer. Bodily kinesthetic intelligence refers to the ability to use whole or portions of body flexibly and creatively. This is the ability which is involved when we learn dance or when we perform dance forms of different kinds. People with high bodily kinesthetic intelligence are good for professions such as dancing or athletics. Interpersonal intelligence is another intelligence which involves sensitivity to subtle aspects of others' behavior. People who are high on interpersonal intelligence are very sensitive to the behavior, emotions, and thoughts of people around them. They can sense other people's feelings, emotions, thoughts in a spontaneous manner. So they are very sensitive to other people's behavior, thoughts, or feelings. People with high interpersonal intelligence can excel as counselors, clinical psychologists, teachers, politicians, and even HR, because all these professions involve people and the ability on the part of the professional to be able to sense other people's behavior and modify their behavior for their good. A good marketing executive or a good HR personnel is high on interpersonal intelligence because that person is able to monitor and manipulate other people's thoughts and behaviors with the help of certain interpersonal skills. Intrapersonal intelligence refers to the awareness of one's own feelings, motives, and desires. So, interpersonal intelligence, as we understood a little while back, is the intelligence which helps us to understand people around us, their emotions, feelings, and behaviors. Intrapersonal is the awareness that we have about our own behaviors, feelings, motives, and desires. So, this is the awareness focused to your own self. It includes knowledge of one's own motives, beliefs, cognitive style, and emotional states. People who are high on interpersonal intelligence are good at professions such as being philosophers or spiritual leaders. In fact, Mahatma Gandhi was very high on intrapersonal intelligence and he was very close to what he felt and how he thought about his own self. And he was very candid about it. His book, My Experiments with Truth, are all the reflections that he had about himself. So he looked at himself in a very honest way and also had the courage to express it publicly. So, intrapersonal intelligence is this kind of intelligence which helps us look at our own self and know our feelings, thoughts, motives, desires, cognitive styles, strengths, and weaknesses. And lastly, the naturalistic intelligence is the sensitivity to features of the natural world. People high on naturalistic intelligence are very sensitive to recognizing the beauty and versatility of our natural surroundings. They are very sensitive to the natural environment, and they are very sensitive to the beauty that is there in the natural world. With high naturalistic intelligence, one is fit for professions such as being a botanist, a farmer, zoologist, or even bird watcher. So these were the 8 multiple intelligences given by Howard Gardner. He looked at intelligence in terms of 8 different kinds of intelligence. All these kinds of intelligence are mutually exclusive. They belong to totally different areas. So they are mutually exclusive, or they are not related to each other. So, this lecture finishes our theories of intelligence by Sternberg and Howard Gardner. We have finished all the theories that which we were supposed to do as per our syllabus. We have done theories by Spearman, Thurston, Cattell, Guilford, Sternberg, and Howard Gardner. Next, we'll be moving on to intelligence tests. That's all for this lecture. Thank you.